So with our handsome Mr. W, he did have to go out for a little potty break. So we had to take a little breather. Ready, sir? But I figured I might as well put on his leash for now. So remember, think about your gear as training wheels. So it's, again, I know I mentioned it's not the thing that's going to create the behavior. So training wheels don't instantly make you ride your bike perfectly. But what they can help with is so you don't instantly fall over or crash when you're still learning how to figure it out with those pedals turning and again stopping. So right now with our handsome guy wearing his harness, wearing his leash, he can now be a little bit more attentive to the environment and again, working on my end versus getting too lost with those cracks. So if when there's moments where your puppy is struggling, you may find even using the leash in the home to be very helpful. So if let's say your puppy is able to wander away and they're having a hard time, maybe reaching items that they shouldn't be chewing on, or for example, they're still working on house training, or they're sometimes getting into mischief with other pets in the home, I would highly recommend to use your leash in the home at times to help your puppy, choose the better skills while you're there to help them learn them. Nice. And of course, management is super important too. So if let's say, for example, you are not going to be available to be watching and supervising your babe, I would highly recommend to use, again, the things that might be available to them as comfortable options. So some pups do much better behind baby gates. Others do really well in a doggy little corral or X-pen setup. And then other pups will, for example, might even do well on their crate too. So you will want to sort of practice rotating through some of those items. And as your babes are going through certain age groups, there'll be certain moments, nice job, sir, where one option might be the better setup for one puppy versus another, depending on their comfort range and their skill set. This is beautiful. So with our handsome guy, he's doing a really nice job staying engaged. Again, I'm kind of just keeping my hand up here so he can kind of hone in on me visually. And there's the crack searching again, just in case if there's a crumb in there. Good job. So right now, Mr. W is getting a couple lovely tidbits for while he's on the side of my body working this loose leash walking. And again, my leash stays nice and relaxed. So my leash should not be the one working the pup in the sense of creating responses. So if we're trying to walk and the puppy is pulling and all we're doing is constantly pulling back, we may be by accident reinforcing that the gear is something that's maybe always slightly overwhelming, or that we are constantly nagging them, and no matter if they're right or wrong, they're constantly getting jostled with the gear. So almost pretend, that was very nice, pretend as if your babe was naked, so that way the gear itself is not the thing creating the behavior. So, but for the handsome guy, I know he's very toy driven as well. This is what I was trying to do a little bit with Zeus too, but he was getting a little excited, which is normal. He's an adolescent. So this is really pretty. Oh, good sneezes, sir. So the benefit of sometimes a shorter dog is they can't quite reach you the same way as the bigs, though he is a very agile man. So for doing this beautiful engagement and very nice loose leash walking, even off gear, he's got a gorgeous little trot. Ready? I'm going to go ahead and throughout this go yes, and then offer some play. So Mr. Handsome over here, Mr. W, is very toy driven, or at least he is with some of the items I have. This is, again, just a sheepskin tuggy. Mr. Z was using it earlier. And the benefit to incorporating, again, play, it's a great way to bond with your puppy and make your sessions really fun, but also can be a great way to diffuse frustration or some pent-up energy that would be normally then out of frustration go into targeting other items you don't really want him to. So maybe because he's super jazzed and a little bit bored, he might see the neighbor and start woo-woo-wooing at the neighbor, when instead we could maybe do a little bit of play near the neighbor and build up that this is a better outlet than sort of doing the barking. So this is really nice. Good job. He's like, I love the tuggies. What a good boy. So as the tug is alive and we're wiggling, he's like, oh, the heat came on. That's a little bit peculiar, he says. So we're tugging, we're playing. If I want him to let go, you'll want to have, again, like I mentioned with Mr. Z earlier, is some sort of release word. So drop it, take it out. You don't want to use the word leave it. So leave it would be for off-limit items that would be unacceptable for him to go explore, touch, or play with. So again, right here, I'm going to go ready, drop it, and then feed for the let go. Nice job. He's like, I don't even care about those snacks. He's like, I only want the toy. So if he's very toy driven, again, we might get his attention with me. And we go ahead and we start doing some walking. Nice job. I love his little trots. Ready? So while he's practicing, I want to make sure too that I don't make it so hard for him that he doesn't want to go ahead and practice again. Nice. So we want to make sure that the practice is attainable and that we're going in the direction that both of you guys are enjoying the progression and that it seems attainable from both ends. So it's really pretty. But if he's super toy driven, this is a great way to build in toy into things he can't always have. So if let's say he's very excited about like the dog passing by, you may find that it's just a little bit of frustration because he can't get to the thing he wants, but then there's a little bit of that anxiety that also might poke out. So this way, Mr. W can work play behaviors that give him a healthy outlet other than the behavior that still is natural, but may not be the greatest outlet for him for down the road if he keeps building up on it. This is really pretty. Ready? Oh, so close. So again, you can have the toy come alive. Nice. So this is the greatest day of my life. So again, I'm going to grab for a couple little tidbits. I'm going to go ready, drop, offer some snacks, feed him for the let go. What a good boy. Nice job. But again, the babes are doing splendid for just their second day. Nice job, sir. Ready? With me? Such a good boy. Ready? Let's go. And again, I don't care whichever side he feels more comfortable being on. The main goal is that he's sort of engaged and having a good time. Yes. And he's also doing a lot of that little sneezing and snorting that I mentioned means your dog is having a great time and they're also enjoying and also offering play. So it's really pretty. Good job, sir. I bet he's going to go home really tired today. He had lots of good playing with his new friend. Good job. Smart boy. But again, we'll probably give Mr. W a little breather, but all the beauties are doing a splendid job just for their second day. I know that for Mr. Z, as I mentioned, it's not his first rodeo, but these two little guys and gals are doing a very nice job. So Mr. W and our lovely Miss B are doing splendid. Nice job, sir. We can be all done with your play. Go ahead, go have your snacks. So, but again, guys, if there's questions, concerns, or you're looking over some of the material and you're not too sure, check back in with me. But otherwise, for the lovelies, keep up the good practice. Remember, it doesn't mean you have to. Some of the students have really enjoyed taking multiple rounds, but you do not have to. For the little Miss B, I would recommend if she, again, is loving the program, she could rock it again. The other fine option, though, oh, maybe he needs to go off for another potty break, is that we have the puppy play groups, which are really beneficial, and then also puppy kindergarten, which involves some of the social, but more of understanding social development, what's going on during different life stages, how to set them up for success from puppyhood to adolescence and into adulthood, but that also includes all your basics. So that would be, for example, working with recall, loose leash walking, puppy teething behaviors, all that fun. So definitely feel free, nice job, sir, to check in if you're a little unsure as to what your next steps might be. We have next week, again, Tuesday and Thursday, to keep rocking and rolling these skills. But we may find what are the next steps for some of the babes, and we can dive into that. So, but very nice work for the beauties. We'll give Mr. Handsome a little break.